use the interactivity of the medium. Its natural end state is personalization, right? So it's not, you're just not consuming, you're actually able to engage.
In the last few years, especially in the last 2 to 3 years, you've seen mobile become a big part of your overall marketing strategy. What are 3 nuggets that you would share with marketing peers to leverage mobile to its fullest?
I think number one would be just getting your customer segment and the insight right, and I think that's got nothing to do with the mobile per se. It's just part of good brand marketing, but I think it's even more critical with mobile as a medium, because otherwise you're doing a disservice. The medium does allow you an ability to target audience which is far beyond that any other medium would, right? And therefore I think it's really foolhardy if you're not sort of tapping into that. And that then leads to its natural end state is personalization, right? So I would highly recommend anyone to start with core customer segmentation. It could be a broader one to start with, but eventually really leverage the power of personalization at scale. I think that would be number one. Second, would be to actually use the interactivity of the medium, because I think that's again also something very, very unique about mobile as a medium. And the way we use it is, is in multiple things. We usually create campaigns which also have a contest-like end to it, so that people can actually participate, comment. We either ask you to post similar things, and
changing all the passive,
exactly. So it's not, you're just not consuming, you're actually able to engage. And I think that's again, the power of the medium, and therefore very, very important to sort of tap into. I think the third one for me, which, we have benefited a lot from, is to be actually able to use and do long form storytelling. Right? So mobile is the only medium on which we actually, do 2-minuters and even 3-minuters. And not just for brand Myntra, we actually do it for some of our, our national brands. So for example, we have a brand called Anouk, and we have a brand called All About You, which lend themselves to good storytelling. So Anouk is all about bold is beautiful. And therefore we found that, again, mobile as a medium gave us the ability to tell slightly longer stories, but that were very engaging human stories. So they work, and I think we're not the only brand. I think several brands are doing that successfully, especially around, key festivals in India, or, key themes. And I think that's working really well. We had done another campaign for one of the Mother's Day events, and it had worked brilliantly as well, right? So I think what I'm saying is that use what is different about the medium and leverage it to be able to power your, marketing.
We've seen the lines between advertising and marketing blur because of the advent of technology. What are the few trends in AdTech or MarTech that you see will be most prominent in 2019?
So I think there are going to be several, and the whole landscape has been evolving quite rapidly, as you said, especially if you look at the last 2 to 3 years. But if you were to ask me which ones will sort of break through next year, I think number one for me would be actually artificial intelligence and machine learning. I'm already seeing a fairly high degree of adoption of that, and we do a lot of it, especially on performance marketing, where we are going for completely programmatic, sort of buying and leveraging it. And these algorithms are sort of relatively self-learning, and we're seeing the benefit of that. So if I were to compare like 18 months ago, without taking names of the platform, but on some of the larger social media and, other platforms, campaigns that we were doing versus since the time that we moved to programmatic, obviously jointly co-developing the algorithms with them. We actually went live with one of them about 3 months back. And we're seeing already a 1.5x sort of improvement, which is just not efficiency in my mind, but it also helps be able to target the right kind of consumer. So it's doubly valuable. So I definitely see that being able to break through, because the quality of the algorithms has improved significantly, and I think that will lead to better adoption. So that's number one. I think second emerging trend I see is actually gamification. And I'm personally very excited and passionate about it. And I think it's definitely already starting to impact how at least some of the marketers are sort of approaching their loyalty programs, for example, on the MarTech side. And, we certainly believe in gamified loyalty. So we have a program where, for example, you get rewards not just for buying, but actually for coming on the platform or doing certain actions or using certain features. But even more importantly, gamification is about instant gratification, so you can move up much faster. But it's not like airline loyalty that once you've become, privileged, you stay there for a year. You can actually come back also if you don't do it. And I think, so time will tell how some of these will evolve, but at least the technology now enables gamification, and we've started to leverage it in our campaigns as well, because on our app we are now hosting games as a way to engage and communicate a message, which is very different. So I think that's the second big trend, which I think maybe still is a little early for next year. So you will see fewer companies sort of go after it, only the early movers. But if I take the next 2 to 3 years, I think I see that trend sort of breaking through, because consumer behavior is moving towards that. You are seeing a lot more of instant gratification, and you are seeing a lot more of engagement on the gaming platforms itself, which are like pure play platforms as well. The third one is actually, in my mind, content marketing from a MarTech perspective. And I think that's, again, sort of, if you just see the patterns around what's happening and the investments that are going in pure play content, I think it's only a matter of time that brands also start to sort of leverage that. And again,
how to fashion yourselves.
Exactly, right? So a lot of if you take fashion as a category, people are curious about how to looks. Exactly. What do I do? What do I wear? What's the latest happening? How do I dress up for a party? How do I go for my first date, and so on and so forth. And therefore, for us, we are taking the leap on saying Myntra is not just about, for example, commerce, but it's about fashion first. And therefore, any questions that you might have on fashion, how can we help answer? Right? And that puts, I think, a very different lens on the way you sort of start approaching the brand and the marketing piece. But again, it's a consumer trend which is getting leveraged into MarTech. And because of the ability to do long form and also integrative content, so, the ability to plug content into existing pieces is also much higher, right? So we're not developing all our content ourselves. We are also working with partners to sort of partner with them for brand placements and so on. The reason I think it's starting to work is because you're now able to measure. All right. So earlier, some of the tools that were available, especially on the content landscape, were very weak. And even within the mobile world, if you were doing integrated content with somebody else, there was no way for you to know other than the number of people who watched the full content. You didn't know whether they watched precisely yours or, what kind of engagement it had. Exactly. But now I think there are tools evolving, again, without taking names, which are allowing marketers greater control over it. And therefore, I think, the trend towards content marketing, product placements and all are probably going to grow as well.
For a brand that lives and breathes mobile, it's really refreshing to hear from Myntra, the largest online fashion retailer in India, about how mobile has played a crucial role in building the brand and the business over the past few years. Thanks a lot, Gunjan, for being a part of InMobi's Mobile Monday, where we talk about leading brands leveraging mobile. Thank you.